What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Awesemo.com coming to you with my top. One more time. What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Awesemo.com coming to you with my top 5 waiver wire picks for week 5 of the NFL season. I hope week 4 treated you well, but if not, and even if you're doing really well in your leagues right now, I've got 5 players you should be targeting to make your team better immediately on the waiver wire. But first, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you know when this and all the other content at the Awesemo Fantasy Football channel is going live. Now, let's get to my picks. I gave you Dawson Knox from the Buffalo Bills last week, and he promptly rewarded new fantasy owners with a massive 2-touchdown performance in Week 4's domination of the Houston Texans. And, by the way, he's still inexplicably owned in just 47% of 12-team Yahoo leagues, so he's still the priority for me if he's on the wire. But in the event Knox isn't there, Dalton Schultz is my number 5 pickup on the week. The tight end put up his second consecutive massive outing in Week 4, catching 6 balls for 58 yards and a score. That's now 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks for the Cowboys' fourth-year man. And with how surgical this offense has been through 4 weeks, even more red zone opportunities should be on the horizon for him going forward. And per usual, tight end is a wasteland unless you own someone named Kelsey, Kittle, or Waller. So punting the position with players involved in high team totals week in and week out isn't the worst way to do things. That makes Schultz, who should be involved in a lot of those shootouts, an easy plug and play at tight end starting immediately. I'm not positive Justin Fields keeps the starting job when Andy Dalton returns from injury, because let's be serious, predicting anything Matt Nagy does is a fool's errand. But for the sake of my number 4 pick, Darnell Mooney, I sure hope he's starting, as Fields put up a display of superior deep ball ability as opposed to Dalton there in Week 4, resulting in 5 catches and 125 yards plus a score for Mooney in Week 4. Yes, it was against a laughable Lions secondary. Yes, that can certainly skew some things, but that's still a massive line that should pop from time to time as long as Fields is at the helm. However, even in 2020 with the brutal trio of Nick Foles, Mitchell Trubisky, and Chase Daniel throwing in the ball, Mooney still saw the 10th most targets in the NFL of 20-plus air yards or more. And even if Fields were to not get the start in Week 5, Dalton didn't exactly shy away from targeting him either, as Mooney saw at least 7 targets in the Bears' first 2 outings of the season. Those targets didn't translate to much, but at least the volume's there to raise his PPR floor in the event Dalton sees the starts going forward. But no doubt about it, Mooney feels like a much improved wide receiver 3 option or flex candidate so long as Fields remains the starter. Shame on us in the fantasy community for not reading the tea leaves correctly on this one, but it's time to rectify that wrong by snagging Randall Cobb in any and all deep leagues right now. While some might look at this as a point-chasing thing, considering Cobb didn't go off until Sunday's 5-catch, 60-plus yard, and 2-touchdown performance, his situation was drastically different entering Week 4 with Marquez Valdes-Scantling placed on the IR. That left the wide receiver 2 spot completely up for grabs, and many, including myself, thought that meant big things for Allen Lazard. Instead, it was Aaron Rodgers' boy Cobb, and I do mean his boy, as Rodgers insisted on a trade for his friend and former Packer to rejoin the team, who benefited the most. And lest we forget, Rodgers is still a year removed from an MVP season, and aside from a Week 1 blip on the radar against the Saints, back to his old tricks. Cobb is almost assured to be available on your wire, as he's rostered in just 6% of 12-team Yahoo Standard Leagues right now. So snag him as a serviceable, short-term rental, at least until Valdes-Scantling is back in the fray. With Jimmy Garoppolo leaving after the first half of the 49ers-Seahawks game, rookie Trey Lance was sprung into his first full-time action. The box score after the fact looks outrageously good, as no one on planet Earth would complain about 157 yards and 2 touchdowns from their quarterback in a single half of football. But if it weren't for a fortuitous 76-yard touchdown with broken coverage to Deebo Samuel, that final stat line wouldn't look so rosy, especially having gone just 9 for 18 throwing with a paltry 39.3 QBR to finish the game. However, Lance lived up to his billing as a willing rusher, turning 7 attempts into 41 yards. And again, that's in just one half of football. So over the course of a game, you're looking at rushing upside comparable to Jalen Hurts or an improved Daniel Jones going forward. Plus, seeing a Week 5 matchup on the horizon against a Cardinals team that just keeps getting involved in shootouts, mainly because they put up crazy amount of points themselves, Garoppolo being out would pave the way for an elite fantasy option in Trey Lance right away. Before we get to my number 1 pick, if you have not yet set an account up at Yahoo, go over there and do so right now, deposit $10 or more, and you will get 2 free months of Awesemo Plus Platinum completely free. No strings attached. Every single sport we offer behind the paywall will be completely free to you. We have NBA coming up here in less than 2 weeks, which is just crazy to say out loud. MLB that's still in full swing for the playoffs. We have MMA. We have golf content. We have everything behind the paywall. It's a $180 value, completely free to you just by signing up. So go take advantage of that offer. What are you waiting for? Whenever a player projects to step into the majority share of running back touches, a la Elijah Mitchell in Week 1 or Chuba Hubbard in Week 4, they become the de facto number 1 waiver wire pickup. And with David Montgomery dinged up with a knee injury at the end of Sunday's game, that could be exactly what just emerged in Bears running back Damien Williams. While his role was diminished week by week leading up to Week 4, any sort of injury to Montgomery vaults Williams into immediate RB2 discussion. Similar to the Ravens and 49ers, I'm sure we'll hear about the Bears bringing in a veteran or two to help carry the load, as only 6th round pick Khalil Herbert is currently alongside Williams in the backfield. But before opting out of the 2020 season, Williams was a pivotal part of the Kansas City Chiefs' success in 2019 and should provide something similar in Montgomery's stead. Keep an eye on the news, but in the event that he's out for a few weeks or longer, Williams is the clear-cut player to utilize first waiver priority on. And as far as fab budget goes, the length of Montgomery's potential absence should be factored into the decision, as a week-to-week injury might make him overvalued by others, while a long-term absence for Montgomery would make Williams worth a very aggressive bid. And those are my top 5 waiver wire pickups for Week 5. Let me know in the comment section below what you think, if there's anybody I missed, and of course, don't forget to like and subscribe on the way out. I'm Eric Lindquist at Awesemo.com. Best of luck in Week 5.